What is up guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Ash, and let's get on with today's video. On last episode of The Return of the Mad Demon, our MC was brought back by a master. This master sent him back to when he was 20 years old, and thus we start with today's episode. Our MC, after being asleep for quite some time, wakes up, takes a good look around to see where exactly he is. Then something clicks on his mind and realizes this is his room, and I quote, "It really is my room, this doesn't feel like a dream. What just happened? I was about 20 when I lived here, right?" In a surprised face he says, "Wait, this means that I can start my martial arts training a few years earlier than I did the first time. And since I've already done it once before, I'll be able to advance much more quickly this time." Realizing the immense advantage he had, he continues to say, "I can be stronger than I was last time." Then he notices his mouth is torn up. And I quote, "Is it because I got high? When did that happen again?" As he walks out of his room, he sees the inn totally trashed. Then he proceeds to say, "In that case, I think I knew when this is." Then we have a sudden flashback. "Hey errand boy, you said you were saving up money. What for?" I can't just tell him that I'm saving up money because I'm an orphan. What do I say? Then out MC, in attempts to not be discovered as an orphan, says, "My dream is to hear a song from Chaehyang at the Plum Blossom Pavilion." The two guys sitting say, "What a simple dream." Some time passes and we are found outside. There are three guys having a conversation, and I quote, "Did you hear that? You know the errand boy at the Jaha Inn? They say he's saving up money to sleep with Chaehyang." No way. I was wondering why he was working so hard to save up. How pathetic. Flashback ends and our MC thinks to himself, "I remember hearing rumors of the Iliang prefecture, and something I said as a joke was taken too far. Based on how the inn looks right now, it seems like I'm back. It's totally wrecked. Just seeing it again makes me angry. For that, you beat me like a dog and ruin the inn? First, I'm gonna make sure I'm alright, then decide what to do next." As he goes to meditate, our MC starts to think to himself, "I'm going to start with the art of the journey through the distant golden land, which I used when I was Mad Demon." While meditating, he wonders to himself, "Chi? How do I have this kind of power? When I was young, I didn't have this kind of chi. It seems like there's a lot of it, too. I don't know why, but this seems like a new opportunity for me. Let's give the art of the journey through the distant golden land a try." Then days go by meditating, then all of a sudden he opens his eyes and in shock he says, "I can't believe it. Even though this technique is so familiar to me, how was I able to master it so quickly?" Then he remembers what the master told him back then. "This is the best option I can give you. In due time, it will become a gift." Is this what the old man was talking about? There's an unusual sensation in my body. Maybe it has something to do with the jade of heaven I ate, but I'm only half as powerful as I used to be. Well, I'm not in a rush. The amount of chi in my body is unusually high. I can improve more quickly than I expected." Then his stomach makes a loud noise. Using that technique took quite a bit of time. "I should take a look around Iliang first." Then he steps outside and starts to walk around the town as he remembers, "Everything is slowly coming back to me." While people around the town look at him saying, "Isn't that the errand boy from Jaha Inn? He's alive? I heard he was beaten up pretty badly a few days ago, but I guess he's doing okay now. Pathetic bastard." Then our MC recalls, "Right. I remember how it was back then. People called me the errand boy from the inn. They ignored me and didn't treat me as a human. Damn it. The more I remember, the more frustrating it is." Then we are met with a building and our MC asks to himself, "Is this the Plum Blossom Pavilion?" Then we are met with a flashback of when our MC got beat up by the two guards at the entrance. While Chaehyang saw him getting beat, she stood there with a mean face, and we're back from the flashback. Now that our MC got a second chance, he decides to clear up the misunderstanding. While he was deciding, someone interrupted him and started telling lies, and I quote, "Thinking about setting the Plum Blossom Pavilion on fire? How pathetic. Can an asshole like you even light a fire? I bet you just get scared and start crying." Then he leans forward towards our MC and says, "I saw you get beat up pretty bad a few days ago, but I guess you're still alive. But you got roughed up. You should be holed up at the inn. So what are you walking around for, huh?" The guy mad at our MC because he is staying quiet and not saying anything get frustrated. Then our MC speaks, "What was your name again?" Then the guy really mad tells "You motherfucker" as he throws a punch at our MC. However, that does not work. Our MC dodges the punch, then hits him back on the chin and he flies back and falls. I just asked him who he was. I don't know what all that bullshit was about. What was his name though? Our MC arrives at the pavilion and there are two guards looking at him with a mad face. He says, "It's that errand boy from a few days ago. What do you think you're doing here? Get lost." Our MC calmly says, "Is that any way to speak to a customer?" The guards got offended and yells, "You bastard." While throwing a punch, like the last guy, this does not seem to be a problem for our MC. He once again dodges and grabs his face, followed by a slam against the ground. This leaves the guard unconscious. Our MC cleans his clothes and calmly says, "That's no way to treat a customer, seriously. Where's the hospitality?" He opens the doors. Inside there are several people taking drinks and eating. He smirks as he is about to enter inside. He then quickly yells, "What do you think you're doing? You have a customer." Everyone looks his way in surprise while he is standing there with a self-satisfied face. The people inside start saying, "Isn't that the errand boy from Jaha Inn?" "It is. I heard he was beaten within an inch of his life a few days ago. He must be out of his mind." Then two more guards approach him and say, "Hey, what do you think you're doing? Do you have any idea where you are?" Our MC then answers while smiling, "A place to grab a drink, obviously. You think I don't know that?" The guard mad was about to hit our MC, but then someone on the stairs said, "Send him up." Our MC gets serious for a second and says, "Right. I think I remember this guy. Sianti Cha, the manager of the Plum Blossom Pavilion." Sianti proceeds to say, "You can't throw out a customer who's here for a drink. A customer is a customer." Our MC starts to say, "You hear that? Please set a large table for Jaha Inn's errand boy. Treat him with the utmost hospitality." They start to make their way to the room. The server with a mean face says, "What would you like to drink?" Our MC says, "I've never been here before, just bring something expensive." The server says with a mad expression, "Hey, wait a minute. Why are you being so demanding?" Our MC sits down and calmly answers, "I'm sorry? Are you offended that an errand boy is ordering you around? Well then, I'm sorry. You son of a bitch. Are we good? Hurry up and bring the drinks." The server gets really angry and thinks to himself, that errand boy has gone too fucking far. If it weren't for Siangti. Then he says, "Just a moment." Our MC waits with a relaxed expression. He says, "What kind of alcohol is this?" "It is our best Dukong wine." The lady answers. Our MC asks, "Is Che Hyang here?" The lady answers to him, "Mr. Joe will be angry. I heard you were beaten up a few days ago because of something that happened with Che Hyang." Our MC disappointed says, "Everyone in Iliang knows that I was beaten up, huh? Don't worry about it. Just bring her here." The lady answers, "I'll let her know." Some time passes, and as our MC was about to drink the booze, he thinks to himself, "Would you look at this? They think they can fool an errand boy? Judging by the flavor and color. This is low-quality booze. Those assholes." Someone knocks on the door and slams it open, yelling, "You bastard. Look who came crawling back. Are you out of your mind?" Our MC says to him, "Is it wrong for me to come to a brothel for a drink? And why do you keep calling me that?" The guard says, "What?" Our MC then proceeds to say, "You're Dongwak, aren't you? Come in, I'll give you a drink." Dongwak says, "You son of a bitch, did you eat something bad? Hey, Jaha. Were you hit so hard that a few screws came loose? We will be calling our MC Jaha from now on." Jaha pours a drink for Dongwak. Dongwak says, "Drink that and get out of here before things get ugly." Jaha smiling says, "Dearest Dongwak." As he was saying that, Dongwak got mad and yelled, "You son of a bitch," while throwing a slap at Jaha. However, Jaha quickly reacts and stabs him on the hand against the table and smirks. "Dongwak, what's wrong with you? I just came to drink quietly and see Che Hyang for a bit. Why are all of you dogs in heat?" While this is going on, Che Hyang enters and sees what's going on and says, "Dongwak, please leave." Jaha as well says, "Yes, goodbye Dongwak." Che Hyang sits down and Jaha smirks at her, but she says, "What were you smiling for?" Jaha answers, "Just because. Does an errand boy have to control his facial expressions too? Even in a place like this? Che Hyang says, do you think this is funny? You really think Sianti or Mr. Joe will just sit back and watch? On top of that, it's going to cost you even more money now that I'm here. And that's Dukong wine. It's very expensive. You'll have to pay for Dong Wak's medical expenses too. I'm saying this for your sake. Pay what you owe and get out of here before something bad happens to you. Jia thinks to himself, come to think of it, this is the first time I've seen Che Hyang up close. Che Hyang then proceeds to say, let me make something very clear. Even if you bring me a pile of silver and gold, I'm not going to sleep with you. I might work here, but I won't just sleep with anyone. I'm not a whore. Jia quickly says, let me be clear with you as well. I never once said that I was saving up money to sleep with you. All I said is that I wanted to listen to you sing a song. Because like you said, you're an entertainer. Not a whore. Che Hyang confused says, huh? What I heard was, Jia interrupts Che Hyang and says, no, to mention that was merely a joke I made at the end. It wasn't even true. I couldn't afford even that. I came here to tell you that. Jia then says, well, you can leave now. Che Hyang, still confused, says what? Jia once more repeats, I said get out. 3 guards slam the door open looking really mad. Jia Li, looks like you came here to spout some more bullshit before you die. Let's take this outside, it's going to be hard to clean up the blood in here. Jia starts to pour wine on his cup calmly and says, I'm going to finish the wine first. Everyone is always so confident that they'll be able to kill me. Have you noticed? The 3 of them start laughing, telling Che Hyang to leave. The 3 of them sit down with him and say, all right. Out, dear Mr. Li, that looks like your last drink. Finish it quickly. I do have to admit that this bastard has balls. He came with his head held high, drank, and called Che Hyang in here like a man. Wow, if I had known how macho he was, I would have given him a real beating. It's a shame. Well, we know now that son of a bitch Jia won't hold it against us either. You think so? The guard then says, Jia, I'm right, aren't it? Jia smiles and offers some wine. The guard, mad once more, says, if you're done, let's go outside. Get up. Jia pours wine again on the cup and drinks while saying, I can't believe you're selling this as your best liquor. Finally, one of the guards notices, what the hell? Why is he so relaxed? Did he really lose his mind after getting beat up a few days ago? Oh no, I drank it all. I have one thing to ask you. We're hometown friends. Am I really that much of a joke to you? The guard then say, you don't think you're a joke? You moron, this could have all been over when you were beaten up a few days ago, but had to make things worse for yourself. Jia start to laugh. This son of a bitch is funny, I'll give him that. Jia continues to laugh, and then the guard join and also start to laugh. Then 2 of the guards pull their swords out and rush at Jia, but Jia flips the table at them, then kicks the table while it's still in the air, and drops them on the ground. Jia then puts his foot on top of the table and says, friends. The 3 of them on the floor scare pay attention to what Jia has to says, am I still a joke to you? And that, guys, concludes today's episode. Remember to comment episode 3 if you want to continue this series. Don't forget to like and subscribe, this helps me a lot. Thanks for staying all the way, see you on the next one.